All right, what's happening, guys? Ken here, and today we are going to go through the second pirate book that I purchased here, and it's called Pirates, Predators of the Sea, A Guide to Real-Life Scallywags and Pillagers of the High Seas, from Blackbeard to Captain Kidd. And this is also written by Angus Konstam from our previous book, and we also have Roger Michael Kean, and an introduction by David Cordingley, and forward by Gail Selinger. So this one's thicker than the other book that we got by Konstam. So it's about 246 pages, and it has a lot of information. So if you're looking for more content heavy, I would just get this book. The other book that we got earlier is called The Pirate Ship, 1660-1730s, also written by Angus Konstam, but a lot of the information here he included in this book. So if you were just going to get one book, probably get this one, Pirates, Predators of the Seas. So it has a lot more information than the first book. The other one was only about 50 pages. So let's go through it. And again, this is part of the research that I was doing for pirates when I was creating, or when I'm actually still in the process of creating this graphic novel about pirates and raccoons. It's actually called Pirate Raccoons, but who knows if it's going to be that final title. But it's kind of it's a kid's graphic novel, but it's all about trying to get into that world, immerse yourself into the world of what you're trying to create. So here we got table of contents: the pirate ship, the ancient world into the Middle Ages, pirates of Barbary Coast, war on Spanish Main, a piece of the action, the most notorious pirates. You can see how pirates are spelled here, Pyrates. Chapter 8, and more notorious pirates, violence and savage justice. Everyone hates Britain, the last American pirates, piracy in the Far East, home sweet home, myths, manners, and codes. So this has a lot of the history about pirates, talks about their ship, their lifestyle, covers a lot of everything that you could think of about piracy. And they're so just entrenched in the culture, even though it was only about a decade of piracy when piracy was a really popular thing. It was only about 10 years or so, but just the myth and all of that is just so entrenched into everything that in popular culture. So it makes it sound like much bigger than it really is. So this talks about piracy in culture, in cartoons, animation, in movies, things like that. And here we have chapter 1, the pirate ship. So it talks about how pirate ships are usually structured, where they come from. They're typically taken from other people. They're stolen, that kind of thing. So they don't necessarily build pirate ships from scratch. They're usually just normal ships that's turned into pirate ships. And usually it happens through, mutiny, the crew rebelling against their captain, and they're not agreeing with what the captain wants to do, and somebody takes over and turns it in. Everybody becomes a pirate basically at that point. And then they would, kidnap people or take over other ships, and then it's either you join us and become a pirate, or we end up marooning you in a remote island somewhere and you end up dying, or we just kill you right on the spot. So a lot of people make the choice of, hey, I'd rather be alive and become a pirate. So cool thing about this, there's talks a lot more detail about the pirate ships, and has better photos than this book. Has more color photos. So it's a good references. So you can see here is how there's different kinds of ships from Europe, from Asia. So it's from all over. So this one, I love that they have a little bit of a cross section, the side view, and you can kind of see how big these ships are, because oftentimes you only see a portion of them above water. So it's if you're an artist drawing these things, it's a good idea to know the full size of the ship when you're illustrating them. So here we have the pirate ships of the East. Let's go through it quicker here. We've got a lot of pages. So here I love this cross section too. You can see the detail of where the rooms are, where the captain probably sleeps, where the cabin sleeps, where the prisoners are stored, where they store their food, which is oftentimes infested by rats and other animals that got into the ship, that kind of thing. Here's a cool painting. Map gives you an idea of what area pirates usually were hanging out. Usually it's areas where they can easily hide, or there's turmoils in the weather that they can take advantage of. So when there's a ship going through that area or that region, and then there's a bad weather, they're stranded. So the pirate ship can take advantage of that and, you know, overtake them. So yeah, I like this. I haven't even read this whole thing, but it looks like it has a lot more detail. Here it talks about Egyptians, enemies in Libya and Palestine. So it talks about the sea battles that they were doing. Now we've got Roman, Sicilians. So it has a lot of, goes really into the history, and really the history of seafaring, you know, the culture and all that stuff. So from barbarians to privateers. See, now we have, looks like medieval. This one actually says Islamic corsairs based on North African coast and the islands of Sicily and Crete. Early European pirates. And you can see if you're creating something about pirates, you want to see also how they do battle, right? How each ship is designed for certain purposes. Like this one right here, it looks like it has a spot where somebody can stand in and probably fight, kind of like in this illustration. So little details like that. It almost looks like a castle. Pirates of Barbary Coast. We have the two Barbossa brothers. I would not be surprised if the writers and researchers for the Pirates of the Caribbean went through this book in detail and took a lot of their information from books like this, or even, you know, talked to the person who wrote the book and hired them as a consultant. It's entirely possible. This one looks like the Spanish Main. The Spanish explorer Juan Ponce de Leon. The gold and silver of Mexico, Peru, and Bolivia minted into coins before shipment to Spain. Fascinating stuff. So for what I'm writing, since I'm writing a children graphic novel, I don't really need to go to a lot of the history of it, because a lot of it's going to be fictitious. I'm just taking some of the elements of pirates and piracy and incorporating that into what I'm writing. So it's not trying to be historically accurate, but at the same time, it's going to be a little bit based on what I'm researching right now. So it's going to benefit me in the end, creating and researching and doing all these different things. And what I'm discovering here is going to be incorporated there. The ships, maybe the names of the characters, um, even maybe storylines. I can get some ideas from it. So now it talks about the most notorious pirates. So this could be filled with some interesting characters. So it talks about, obviously, one of the, if not the famous one was Blackbeard. Captain Charles Johnson's best-selling book about pirates is the man who most epitomizes the golden age of piracy. Blackbeard was by no means the worst freebooter of the period, although he was certainly the most colorful. So, talks about the different flags. The unluckiest pirate. The pirate who knew when to stop. That's a cool painting. It says this guy was marooned. It's an oil painting by Howard Pyle. A classic image from the golden age of piracy, up and down the coast of South America and South Africa. The numerous uninhabited islands made perfect prisons for those who fell foul of their captains, and for hapless captains who provoked mutiny among their crews. Ooh, that doesn't look good. The more notorious pirates. Yeah, after reading something like this, makes you want to go on a trip to a port somewhere and jump on a ship and see how it really feels being there, The gentleman pirate who bought his own ship. Wow. I think that's one of the rare things for somebody to buy their own pirate ship. Calico Jack. Samuel Bellamy. Howell Davis, Terror of the West African Coast. Even the outfit, right? It's so colorful. So the outfit is like an influence of the different regions these privateers, these buccaneers have visited, and they've taken different pieces from all over the world and, adorned it in their outfit. That's why it's kind of different mix of styles and cultures and things like that. The weapons are cool. Violence and savage justice. Rudimentary by today's standard, but they look pretty cool, right? Here's another one. Ship. The process of maritime capital punishment. Everyone hates Britain. Chapter 10. And right now there's a good dramatized series on Netflix on pirates too. I mean, it's been there for a while now, but if you're into this right now, it'd be a good chance to rewatch it. That's a cool illustration. The last of the American pirates. So now it talks about Chapter 12, Piracy in the Far East. The largest pirate confederation. Last of the great Chinese pirates. It's funny how in shows, pirates travel so fast from one place to the other, right? But in reality, it takes them weeks or months to get to a place because it's so far. But most of the time, they're on the ship and they're all just getting sick. They have nothing to eat. It's really a tough life. So this one says, Filipino pirates wait patiently for some passing prey. They've got weapons. This is modern pirates. Myths, manners, codes. And here we have an image of Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. Slops and the Motley Crew. Pirate apparel. Okay, now we're at the index. So this one is The Prince. Classic Golden Age Romanticism by Master of Pirate Art Howard Pyle. It's a good painting. And we've got the index. And that is this. This one is $17.99. I'm not sure if it's still being published, but if you can get a copy, it'd be a good one to get. I think I probably got it used. And I also, since I'm doing this research on pirate ship, I actually 3D printed my own pirate ship. Check this out. So this one, I was able to download the 3D print file from colts3d.com. And as you can see, it's not bad. So as I'm illustrating, I can kind of look at something and get an idea of, you know, placement, things like that. How things look in an actual ship, since I can't be in a ship. The next best thing is to 3D print one, right? So this one, I put the sails here. Put little sticky crossbone skull flags on it. But yeah, it's neat. It's a neat little toy. It took probably a good couple days to 3D print this. 3D printing takes a lot of time. But yeah, I just kind of have this now, so to go along with my Pirates book. So there you have it. I'm just going to go through a few more of the books that I have laying around here for you guys. So I'll see you in the next video.